The Galactic Council chamber was full of light and noise. Hundreds of alien leaders sat in floating seats, watching a large star map in the center of the hall. Symbols moved slowly across the glowing space. This council had ruled the galaxy for thousands of years. They had seen wars, extinctions, and empires rise and fall. Today, they were bored. Then a new signal appeared. A small blinking mark showed up near the outer edge of known space. The scanners focused, and the image became clear. It was a single spacecraft. Old design. Small size. Weak energy output. The room went silent for 1 second. Then the laughter began. The Zarkan High Admiral leaned forward, his long claws tapping the arm of his seat. "Is that a joke?" he asked, laughing openly. "That ship looks like scrap metal." The council screens displayed more data. The ship was from Earth. Humanity. A young species. Still divided. Still fighting wars among themselves. The laughter grew louder. "They sent only one vessel," another leader mocked. "Do they think this is a greeting?" The High Council Overseer waved a hand to calm the room, though even he was smiling. "Humans have always been foolish," he said. "They build fast, not smart. Strong bodies, weak minds." The image zoomed in. The Earth vessel drifted slowly through space. No escort. No fleet behind it. No defensive formation. Just one ship. A council scientist adjusted the scanner readings. No advanced shields detected. Primitive power core. Their weapons, if any, are outdated. More laughter echoed across the chamber. "They are brave," someone joked. "No," another replied. "They are stupid." The council had faced powerful species before. Many had tried to challenge their rule. Those species always came with armadas. Thousands of ships. Complex strategies. Long speeches. Humans sent silence. The Earth vessel did not transmit any message. It did not change course. It did not power up weapons. It simply moved forward. The silence began to feel strange. A junior commander spoke carefully. "High Overseer, should we hail them?" The Overseer nodded. "Yes. Let us welcome our guests." A communication beam was sent. The screen flickered, waiting for a response. Nothing. The ship stayed silent. The laughter returned, but it was softer now. "They are afraid," said the Zarkan Admiral. "Fear has frozen them." "Or their systems are broken," another leader added. The council debated casually. To them, this was not a threat. It was entertainment. A break from real problems. "Deploy a patrol fleet," the Overseer ordered calmly. "Let them see our strength. Then they will turn back." Outside the chamber, dozens of massive alien warships moved into position. Their hulls were covered in glowing symbols of past victories. Their weapons hummed with power. Compared to them, the Earth vessel looked like a child's toy. Still, the human ship did not stop. Inside the Earth vessel, the human crew watched quietly. They did not panic. They did not argue. The captain stood with hands behind his back, eyes calm. He said nothing. Back in the council chamber, a new report arrived. "High Overseer," the scientist said slowly, "the human ship, it is not slowing down." The Overseer frowned. "Increase patrol presence." More ships surrounded the Earth vessel, forming a wide circle. Any escape route was blocked. The human ship stayed silent. The laughter stopped completely. Something about the silence felt wrong. "Why do they not speak?" one council member whispered. The Overseer leaned forward. "Open all channels. Demand identification." The command was sent. The alien message was loud and clear, translated into human language instantly. This is the Galactic Council. You have entered restricted space. Identify yourself or be destroyed. Seconds passed. Then minutes. The human ship finally responded. Not with fear. Not with apology. A single calm voice echoed through the chamber. This vessel is Earth-based. We are passing through. The simplicity confused them. That is all, the Admiral scoffed. No respect. No fear. The Overseer smiled again, confidence returning. Then they will learn, he said. Humans always learn the hard way. The Council gave the final order. Prepare weapons, the Overseer declared. Let us teach them their place. As alien fleets charged their cannons, the Earth vessel remained still. Silent. Waiting. And for the first time in centuries, the Galactic Council laughed, without knowing this would be the last time they laughed at humanity. The alien fleets moved into perfect formation around the Earth vessel. From every direction, massive warships closed in. Their hulls glowed with power, and their weapon systems hummed like hungry beasts. To the Galactic Council, this was control. To them, the human ship looked trapped. Inside the Council chamber, confidence returned quickly. They have nowhere to go, the Zarkan Admiral said. One command from us, and they will beg. The Overseer nodded slowly. Fear always arrives late in humans. On the central screen, the Earth vessel floated in the middle of the alien formation. Still moving forward, but now at a slower pace. Still silent. No weapons powered up. No shields activated. No emergency signals. Just silence. That silence began to irritate the Council. Why do they not react? One Council member asked. Any normal species would panic by now. The science officer adjusted his instruments again, his voice less confident than before. I am detecting strange readings. Very low energy emissions, but highly controlled. The Admiral laughed sharply. Excuses. Weak ships always show unstable signals. The Overseer raised a hand. Enough. Send a final warning. A stronger transmission beam was fired at the human ship. This is your final warning. Stop immediately and prepare for inspection. Resistance will result in destruction. The message echoed inside the Earth vessel. The human crew heard it clearly. No one spoke. The captain stood still, eyes fixed on the main viewport. Stars passed slowly outside. His face showed no anger. No fear. Only patience. A junior officer finally broke the silence. Captain, they have us surrounded. The captain nodded once. Yes. Orders? The officer asked. The captain looked at the timer on the wall. It counted down quietly. Hold course, he said. Nothing more. Back in the Council chamber, seconds passed with no response. They ignore us again, the Admiral growled. Insolent creatures. The Overseer leaned back. Then begin the lesson. Fire a warning shot. One alien cruiser moved forward. Its main cannon glowed bright blue. The energy built rapidly. The Council watched closely. The weapon fired. A beam of pure energy streaked through space, missing the human ship by a wide margin. It tore through empty vacuum and vanished into the dark. The explosion of light was meant to scare. The human ship did not flinch. It did not change direction. It did not accelerate. It did not respond. The silence grew heavy. That should have frightened them, a Council member muttered. The science officer checked his readings again, his eyes widening slightly. They did not even raise shields. The Admiral slammed his claw onto the armrest. Then they are fools. The Overseer's smile faded. Something about this situation felt wrong now. The humans were not acting like prey. "Bring the fleet closer," he ordered. The alien ships tightened the circle. Distance closed. Weapon locks were established. Every system screamed dominance. Still, the Earth vessel moved forward, slow and steady. Inside the human ship, the timer reached 0. The captain spoke calmly. "Signal received," he said. "Shall we respond?" the junior officer asked. The captain paused for a moment. Then he nodded. "Yes." One message. A simple transmission was sent. Back in the council chamber, the screen lit up. The message appeared as plain text, translated instantly. "Leave this space. You are in danger." The chamber exploded with laughter again, louder than before. "They threaten us," someone shouted. "With one ship?" The admiral laughed hardest. "Danger? From that?" The overseer raised his hand, but even he was smiling now. "They still believe courage equals strength," he said. "A common human mistake." The science officer hesitated. "High Overseer, their energy readings just changed." The overseer turned sharply. "How?" "They increased slightly. Very slightly. But, the structure is unfamiliar." The admiral waved it away. "Enough delays. End this farce." He leaned forward, eyes cold. "Full weapons charge," he ordered. "Erase the human ship." Across space, alien cannons began charging at once. Light gathered. Power surged. The human ship finally stopped moving. It stayed perfectly still. Waiting. Inside the council chamber, no one noticed that the stars behind the human vessel had begun to bend. And no one realized that the silence was not fear. It was restraint. The alien fleets were ready. Across the dark space, hundreds of massive warships charged their weapons at the same time. The glow from their cannons lit the stars like artificial suns. Energy levels rose so high that even the council's sensors began to shake. In the Galactic Council chamber, the mood was confident again. "This will be over in seconds," the Zarkan admiral said. "History will not even remember this moment." The overseer watched the human ship on the screen. It was still. Completely still. No shields. No weapons. No movement. "Strange," the overseer muttered. "They have stopped. They have accepted death," the admiral replied. The science officer stood frozen at his console. His hands moved quickly as data poured in. His voice was quiet now. "High Overseer. I am detecting a space anomaly." The overseer did not look away from the screen. "Explain." "The area around the human ship, space-time density is increasing. Slowly. Very slowly." The admiral laughed. "You see ghosts because you expect danger." The overseer hesitated for a moment. Then he nodded. "Begin firing sequence." The command echoed across the fleet. Alien cannons reached full charge. Inside the human ship, alarms stayed silent. The crew stood calmly at their stations. No one shouted. No one ran. The captain looked at the main display. Alien ships filled the screen. He spoke softly. They chose not to listen. A junior officer swallowed hard. "Captain, authorization confirmed." The captain closed his eyes for 1 second. Then he opened them. "Proceed," he said. Back in the council chamber, the overseer raised his hand. "Fire." The first volley was massive. Energy beams, plasma shots, and guided weapons surged forward together, aimed directly at the human vessel. Space itself glowed white from the power. The council leaned forward, watching closely. But the weapons never reached the ship. They slowed. Every beam bent slightly. Missiles drifted off course. Plasma waves stretched and twisted like liquid pulled by invisible hands. "What is happening?" someone shouted. The science officer's voice trembled. "The weapons are being affected. Space is folding." The human ship remained untouched. Around it, the stars began to warp. Light curved inward. The darkness deepened, as if space itself was being pulled toward a single point. The laughter was gone. "This is impossible," the admiral whispered. Inside the human ship, the captain spoke again. Phase 1 complete. The crew watched as the alien weapons collapsed into nothing, crushed by forces they could not see. Back in the council chamber, panic spread. "Shields up," the overseer ordered. "All fleets, maximum defense." Alien ships activated every protective system they had. Energy shields flared brightly, overlapping in layers. Still, the distortion grew. Space around the human vessel darkened further. The stars behind it stretched into thin lines. The science officer screamed. "It's a localized gravity weapon. But, the scale, it's beyond anything recorded." The overseer stared at the screen, his confidence shattered. "Humans built this?" No answer came. The human ship sent another transmission. Simple. Calm. Clear. "We warned you." The message echoed through the chamber like a verdict. Suddenly, one alien cruiser vanished. Not exploded. Not damaged. Gone. It folded inward, crushed into a single point of light, then disappeared without sound. The council froze in horror. Another ship vanished. Then another. Each one disappeared faster than the last. "This is annihilation," someone screamed. The admiral shouted orders into the void, but panic had already taken control. Fleets tried to retreat. Engines flared. They failed. The gravity well expanded slightly, pulling everything closer. Inside the human ship, the captain watched without emotion. "Maintain limit," he said. "Do not exceed." "Yes, Captain," the crew replied. Back in the council chamber, alarms screamed louder than ever. The overseer collapsed into his seat. "Stop it," he yelled into the communicator. "We surrender." There was no reply. The human ship did not respond. It did not need to. Outside, the alien fleet continued to vanish, one by one, erased by a force they had laughed at only minutes before. And in that moment, the Galactic Council understood a terrible truth. Humanity had not come to fight. They had come to end the lesson. Space screamed. There was no sound, yet every sensor in the alien fleet showed violent readings. The gravity field around the human ship grew stronger, but it stayed perfectly controlled. Not wild. Not chaotic. Precise. In the Galactic Council chamber, fear replaced pride. Leaders who once laughed now stood frozen, eyes locked on the screen. "Pull back," the Zarkan admiral shouted. "All ships, emergency retreat." Engines roared across space. Alien ships burned fuel at maximum output, trying to escape the invisible force pulling at them. They moved only a little. "It's holding us," a fleet commander cried. "We can't break free." The science officer shook violently as he studied the data. "This is not a weapon in the normal sense," he said. "It is a controlled collapse of space itself. They are not attacking us." The overseer turned slowly. "Then what are they doing?" The officer swallowed. "They are removing us." Outside, another alien warship folded inward. Its shields did nothing. Its armor meant nothing. One moment it existed. The next, it was gone. No explosion. No debris. No survivors. Just empty space. Inside the human ship, the bridge was quiet. Soft lights glowed. Screens showed calm numbers and stable lines. The captain stood unmoving. A navigation officer spoke carefully. "Captain, the field is at safe limit. Alien losses increasing." The captain nodded. "Good. Keep it narrow." "You mean, only the fleets?" the officer asked. "Yes," the captain replied. "No collateral." The human ship was not raging. It was choosing. Back in the council chamber, panic turned into desperation. "We surrender," the overseer screamed again. "All fleets stand down. We accept human authority." No response came. The human ship did not answer fear. Another ship vanished. Then 3 more. The remaining alien fleets broke formation, trying random escape vectors. Some shut down weapons. Others sent frantic signals into the void. None of it mattered. The gravity field pulsed once. Not stronger. Sharper. In a single moment, half of the remaining alien warships disappeared together. The council chamber went silent. The admiral fell to his knees. "They didn't even use a fleet," he whispered. "One ship, one strike." The science officer stared at the readings, his voice empty. This weapon, it required perfect understanding of physics. Not brute force. Not numbers. The overseer closed his eyes. "We never understood them," he said. "We laughed because we thought silence meant weakness." Outside, the destruction slowed. The human ship adjusted the field again, tightening it further. Only active warships were affected now. Support vessels, far from the battle, remained untouched. Inside the human ship, the junior officer looked uneasy. "Captain, they are nearly finished." The captain watched the last clusters of alien ships struggle. "End it," he said. The field pulsed one final time. The remaining alien fleets vanished. Space returned to normal. Stars straightened. Light flowed naturally again. The distortion faded as if it had never existed. Silence returned. In the council chamber, the screen showed nothing but empty space. No fleets. No power signatures. The galaxy's greatest armada was gone. Destroyed in less than a minute. The overseer collapsed into his seat, breathing hard. "We ruled for 10,000 years, he said softly. And it ended in seconds. The human ship remained. It powered down its field completely. Energy readings dropped to near zero. Still, it did not move. Inside the human ship, the captain finally turned to his crew. "Record the encounter," he said. "Mark it as defensive action." "Yes, Captain." "Set course," he continued. "We are done here." As the human ship began to move again, a final message was transmitted. Not to the council. To every listening system in the galaxy. This was a warning. Do not force another. The message carried no anger. Only certainty. In the ruins of alien power, one truth spread faster than fear. Humanity did not fight wars. They ended them. The battle was over. But the shock had only begun. Across the galaxy, sensors slowly updated. Systems that once tracked thousands of powerful alien warships now showed nothing. Empty space. Silent coordinates. No wreckage. No signals. No survivors. Instant annihilation. On distant worlds, commanders stared at their screens in disbelief. Trade stations froze operations. Military outposts shut down weapon systems, unsure of what they had just witnessed. One truth became clear very fast. The Galactic Council fleet was gone. Inside the council chamber, only a few leaders remained. Those who had stayed behind, watching from afar, now stood in total silence. The room that once echoed with laughter now felt cold and small. The overseer's voice was weak. Confirm, total loss. The science officer nodded slowly. All combat fleets have vanished. There was no explosion pattern. No debris field. They were erased. Another council member whispered. That kind of power, even the ancients never had this. No one replied. Outside, the human ship moved calmly away from the former battlefield. Its engines were quiet. Its energy signature dropped to levels lower than most civilian craft. It looked harmless again. Inside the ship, the crew resumed normal operations. No celebration. No cheers. The junior officer finally spoke. Captain, galaxy-wide channels are open. They are watching. The captain nodded. They should. A new transmission began spreading through space. Not from Earth. Not from the Council. From observation networks. From merchant relays. From neutral systems. Every species saw the same thing. A single human vessel. Surrounded by nothing. Victorious without effort. On a nearby neutral world, an elder watched the recording carefully. They laughed at humans, he said. That was their mistake. Another replied. No. Their mistake was thinking humans needed permission to survive. Back in the council chamber, panic returned, but quieter now. This was not loud fear. This was understanding. We provoked them, the overseer said slowly. And they responded, once. The science officer added. They did not pursue retreating forces. They did not expand the field. They stopped exactly when they chose. That means, someone whispered. They were never out of control, the overseer finished. We were. Across the galaxy, military doctrines were rewritten in real time. Old strategies were deleted. Power rankings collapsed. Every record now carried a new warning tag. Humanity, extreme threat level. But some species noticed something else. The human ship did not stay. It did not claim territory. It did not demand surrender. It did not issue threats. It simply left. Inside the human vessel, the captain stood quietly, watching stars slide past. The junior officer hesitated. Captain, should we send another message? A stronger one? The captain shook his head. No. They understand now. What if they don't? The officer asked. The captain's voice stayed calm. Then we will remind them. Far behind them, the former center of alien power remained empty. A dark, silent scar in space. Ships avoided it. Sensors refused to scan it too closely. Stories spread quickly. Some said humans carried weapons that erased reality. Others said Earth ships were controlled by cold machines. A few claimed humans had learned how to command space itself. None of it mattered. What mattered was the result. One species had laughed. One ship had arrived. And an empire had ended. On a distant world, a child asked an elder. Why didn't the humans destroy everyone? The elder answered after a long pause. Because they were not angry. They were careful. As the human ship continued its journey, Earth received a simple report. Mission complete. No escalation required. Back on Earth, leaders read the report and nodded. No speeches were made. No celebrations were held. Humanity did not need praise. They had sent one vessel. That was enough. And across the galaxy, one lesson burned brighter than any star. When humans finally act, they do not miss. The galaxy did not celebrate. It mourned. Not for the fallen fleets, but for the illusion that power belonged to the loudest, the largest, or the oldest. That belief died in silence, in a stretch of space where an empire once ruled. The coordinates were soon marked on every star map. No name. No station. No travel routes. Just a warning symbol. Ships avoided the region instinctively. Even automated probes slowed when passing nearby, as if space itself remembered what had happened there. The Galactic Council no longer met in its grand chamber. The surviving leaders gathered in smaller rooms, on hidden worlds, their voices low and careful. They spoke of humanity. Not with laughter. Not with anger. With fear and respect. We misjudged them, the former overseer said, older now, his voice heavy. We saw one ship and thought weakness. The science officer replied quietly. No, we saw restraint and mistook it for fear. Records from the encounter spread through every archive. Analysts studied the data endlessly, trying to understand the human weapon. They failed. Not because the data was missing. But because the design was not meant to impress. It was meant to end things quickly. On neutral worlds, elders taught a new lesson to young minds. Power does not always announce itself, they said. Sometimes it waits. Humanity did not send ambassadors. They did not demand apologies. They did not ask for seats on councils. They continued exploring. Trading. Building. But now, when a human ship appeared in a system, traffic slowed. Military patrols powered down weapons. Messages became polite. Very polite. Inside the human vessel, now far from the incident, life returned to routine. Crew members ate, rested, and worked like any other mission. The junior officer finally asked the question that had been sitting in everyone's mind. Captain, will they ever attack us again? The captain looked out at the stars. Not soon, he said. And if they do, the officer pressed. The captain answered calmly. Then they will remember. The ship received a priority transmission from Earth. Not praise. Not celebration. Just one line. Good judgment shown. Maintain restraint. The captain nodded once and closed the message. That was humanity's strength. They did not seek war. But they ended threats. Back in the wider galaxy, a new rule spread quietly through every fleet command and political hall. Never corner a human. Never mock their silence. Never assume they are alone. Because humans did not need many ships. They only needed a reason. Years later, a young alien historian recorded the event with careful words. They laughed at one Earth vessel. They believed numbers meant victory. They believed age meant wisdom. They were wrong. Humanity did not conquer the galaxy that day. They taught it. And the lesson was simple. He paused, then finished the record. When humans finally speak with force, they do it once. And the universe listens. Far away, the human ship continued forward, a small shape against endless stars. Quiet. Unassuming. Deadly only when necessary. The galaxy watched it go. And no one laughed again.